Hello and welcome to part 1 of the final review for Math 0028. There are 33 or 34 questions, probably 34 questions. It's all multiple choice. So if you have a Scantron, bring that and it'll be easy to do. You're not to write on the test itself. But you'll have scrap paper to use for that. So the first question, you're going to be given something like b squared minus 4ac, and they tell you that a equals 3, b equals -2, and c equals 5. So you're just going to substitute those numbers in. So it's -2 squared minus 4 times 3 times 5. This will be 4 minus 4 times 3 is 12, times 5 is 60, so the answer will be -56. Next, let's say you have 2ax minus 4y over a plus y. If x equals -2, y equals 3, and a equals -4. So we're going to substitute those numbers in. We have 2 times -2 times -4 minus 4 times 3 all over -4 plus 3. 2 times -2 is 4 times -4 times -4 is 16 minus 4 times 3 is 12 over -4 plus 3 is -1. That equals 4 over -1, which equals -4. Next, you'll have one of the interest questions. Let's say that you start with a $3,300 loan, and it's for 2 years, and the interest is 6%. We need to find the total that you pay back. So the first is interest equals PRT, which is 3,300 times 6 over 100 times 2 years. When we do that, we're going to get $396. So that's how much the interest is. Now we have to add that back to the principal. So 3,300 plus 396 is 3696. Next, you will have something like 4 times 5x plus 4 minus 27 equals 15x minus 2. First thing we need to do is distribute the 4. So we're going to have 20x plus 16 minus 27 equals 15x minus 2. Now you need to combine like terms on both sides of the equal sign. So we're going to combine the 16 minus 27. We're going to be left with 20x minus 11 equals 15x minus 2. Now I'm going to bring all my x's to this side and my numbers to this. So minus 15x plus 11 plus 11. We're going to have 5x equals 9, divide both sides by 5, and x equals 9 over 5. Next, let's say we have 9x minus, in parentheses, 4x minus 1 equals 2. So we need to distribute this negative, so it becomes 9x. 4x becomes minus 4x, minus 1 becomes plus 1, equals 2. Combine like terms, we're going to have a 5x plus 1 equals 2. Subtract the 1, we have 5x equals 1, divide both sides by 5, and x equals 1 over 5. Next, let's say that we have something like 2x over 5. Start that again. 2x over 5 minus x over 3 equals 4. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of our fractions. So the least common denominator of 5 and 3 is 15. So we're going to multiply everything by 15. When we do that, 15 divided by 5 is 3. 3 times 2x is 6x minus 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times x is 5x equals 4 times 15 is 60. Combine like terms, we get x equals 60. Next, let's say that we have v equals bh over 3, and we have to solve for h. So what we're going to do is multiply both sides by 3. These 3's cancel. We have 3v equals bh. Divide both sides by b. The b's cancel. H equals 3v over b. Next is going to be one of the word problems that we did, where we have, say, a 12-inch board is cut into 2 pieces. And one piece is 4 inches longer than 3 times the shorter. Okay, so we have no idea how big the shorter one is, so that's going to be x. The long, we say that it's 3 times the shorter, so 3x plus 4 equals the long. So now we're going to combine those two. X plus 3x plus 4 equals 12. Combine like terms, we get 4x plus 4 equals 12. Subtract the 4, we get 4x equals 8. X is 2. So the shorter one is 2. Now to find the long one, we're going to substitute it back in. So 3 times 2 plus 4 equals 6 plus 4 equals 10. Or if you wanted to, you could have just said 12 minus the 2 equals 10. However you want to do that will be fine. Next is going to be an inequality. So let's say we have 2 times 4x minus 9 is less than or equal to 10x minus 12. So the first thing we have to do is distribute the 2. We'll have 8x minus 18 less than or equal to 10x minus 12. So I'm going to bring all my x's to this side and my numbers to this side. So subtract 10x and add 18. We're going to get negative 2x less than or equal to 6. Divide both sides by negative 2. We're going to get x on this side, negative 3 on this side. Since we divided by a negative, we have to flip the sign so it becomes greater than or equal to. Now if we were to graph this, we're going to go to the negative 3. Because it's greater than or equal to, it's going to be a solid dot, and it's everything that is more than that. Next, let's say we have x to the negative 7 times x to the 0 times x to the 5. What we do here, we have the same base and just exponents, so we're just going to add up all the exponents. Negative 7 plus 0 plus 5 will be x to the negative 2, but we don't want negative exponents, so we're going to flip it, and this becomes 1 over x to the positive 2. Next, let's say that we have 9x to the 9, y, z to the 6 raised to the 2. So we're going to square everything inside here. 9 squared is 81. X to the 9 times 2 is x to the 18. Y to the 1 times 2 is y squared. Z to the 6 times 2 is z to the 12. Then, let's say we have x squared, y to the 4 over x to the negative 5, y to the 8. To make this easy, move everything so that the exponents are going to be positive, and then work with it from there. So we're going to move the x to the negative 5 to the top. This will become x squared times x to the 5 times y to the 4 over y to the 8. Now when we do the x squared times x to the 5, it's x to the 2 plus 5, or x to the 7. And notice that the 8 on the bottom is bigger than the 4. So when we subtract, we're going to have our y on the bottom. So it's going to be x to the 7 over y to the 8 minus 4, or y to the 4. Next, we're going to subtract two polynomials. Let's say that we have 7x to the 4 plus 9x to the 6 plus 2 minus 1 plus 5x to the 6 minus 4x to the 4. So what we're going to do is get rid of the parentheses for the first one. 7x to the 4 plus 9x to the 6 plus 2. On this one, since we're subtracting, everything is going to change the sign. So 1 becomes minus 1, plus 5x to the 6 becomes minus 5x to the 6, minus 4x to the 4 becomes plus 4x to the 4. Now we're going to combine like terms. We have a 7x to the 4 plus a 4x to the 4, that's 11x to the 4. 9x to the 6 minus 5x to the 6 is plus 4x to the 6. And 2 minus 1 is plus 1. Next, let's say we have 3x minus 5 squared. So you can either do this as 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5, or you can do the shortcut. The shortcut is we square the first one, so this becomes 9x squared. Then we go 2 times negative 5 is negative 10 times 3x is minus 30x. Square the last one, plus 5 squared is 25. You'll get the same answer if you break it up into 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5 and do the FOIL. This one though, let's say we have x minus 2y times 5x plus 7y. We will do FOIL with this. So the first is x times 5x, which is 5x squared. Outer, x times 7y is plus 7xy. Inner, negative 2y times 5x is minus 10xy. Last, negative 2y times 7y is minus 14y squared. Now we can combine our like terms. So 5x squared minus 3xy minus 14y squared. Next is one where we have a polynomial divided by a monomial. So let's say we have 24x to the 8 plus 16x to the 7 plus 32x to the 3 all over 4x to the 5. So what we're going to do here is separate it into 3 divisions to make it a little bit easier. So this becomes 24x to the 8 over 4x to the 5 plus 16x to the 7 over 4x to the 5 plus 32x to the 3 over 4x to the 5. 24 divided by 4 is 6. X to the 8 over x to the 5 is x to the 3. Plus 16 divided by 4 is 4. X to the 7 over x to the 5 is x squared. plus 32 over 4 is 8. We see that x to the 5 is bigger on the bottom than x to the 3 on top. So our x is going to be on the bottom, and x to the 5 minus 3 is x squared. So the answer is 6x to the 3 plus 4x squared plus 8 over x squared. Next, let's say that we have something like xy minus y plus 8x minus 8, and we have to factor. This one we're going to factor by grouping. So here we can factor out a y, and we're going to be left with x minus 1. Then we can factor out an 8, and we're left with x minus 1. Our two binomials are the same, so we can factor that out, x minus 1, and we're left with y plus 8.